Hello class, my name is Kyle Anderson and I'm here to give you reasons why the affirmative's plan to legalize physician-assisted suicide in the state of California is faulted and why it would be a harm to society and all of those involved. Just to reiterate, my opponent's plan of action to legalize physician-assisted suicide in the state of California because they believe that 1, death impacts everybody, 2, physician-assisted suicide is not murder, and 3, that it satisfies justice. I believe that there are 3 main issues with the affirmative's plan of action, and they have to deal with the cost, effectiveness, and safety issues. The points that I would be arguing are that 1, the cost of medicine only focuses on a certain demographic, 2, that it would further lead to the corruption of the practice of medicine, and 3, that it would compromise and complicate family and personal relationships. My first point is that the legalization of physician-assisted suicide would be ineffective because it is not accessible to all those who may want or need it. As stated on the website for deathwithdignity.org, pentobarbital in liquid form, which is a common form of the medicine that is used for physician-assisted suicide, cost until about 2012 it cost about $500, but after that the price rose between $15,000 and $25,000. The cost of these medications only reach out to a certain socioeconomic class, which as my opponent mentioned earlier, in the state of Oregon was primarily white, well-educated men. Meaning, according to a study done in 2015 by PPIC.org, around 38.7% of Californians are either currently in poverty or alarmingly near the poverty rate. That means roughly 2/5 of California's population would either be too poor to afford the correct medication or to not have the right insurance to cover it, thus further dividing the socioeconomic classes. For the arguments presented by my opponent that everyone deserves a fair chance at choosing when they live and die are contradicted. As the evidence I stated previously, legalizing physician-assisted suicide does not give all those who need it a fair chance at receiving it. Other than cost concerns, in order to apply for physician-assisted suicide medicine, the patient must go through a series of steps in order to get them. According to deathwithdignity.org, the process entails 2 oral requests, 1 written request, waiting periods, and other significant requirements. Although it seems like a simple enough process, it prevents certain demographics from getting it. The only way of dealing with this issue is to not legalize physician-assisted suicide in the state of California. My second point is that physician-assisted suicide would corrupt the practice of medicine. Subsection A, it would complicate the doctor-patient relationship. Now, the whole point of going to the doctors is to be healed or treated, never harmed. According to medicinenet.com, a line taken from the Hippocratic Oath that all doctors take states, "I will never give a deadly drug to anybody who asks for it, nor will I make a suggestion to this effect." According to this line, it is immoral for any doctor to prescribe lethal doses of medicine to any of their patients. The Hippocratic Oath is taken by all doctors and is seen as a sacred word in the medical world. The entire purpose of the oath is to incentivize that the health of the patient is the only priority, meaning the goal of the doctor is to save lives, not end them. Subsection B, medicine could get into the wrong hands. According to a government document in the state of Oregon, in the year 2017, a total of 218 people were prescribed with lethal doses of medication by physician-assisted suicide. Of these 218 people, 130 ingested the medicine and passed away because of it, meaning 88 other individuals are in possession of doctor-prescribed lethal medication. All of these 88 passed away due to other illnesses, leaving the responsibility of possessing lethal medicine All these 88 people passed away due to other illnesses, leaving the responsibility of possessing that medicine into someone who has not been originally trusted with it. Can we really trust somebody that has not been originally trusted, that has not been prescribed it, to return it, dispose of it properly when it could be used to sell, be forgotten about, or God forbid for cynical uses? The patient's heir, or whoever receives it, or whoever takes care of the patient after they depart, could receive it and sell it, making it more accessible to the public, which allows another form of murder out to the public. For my third and final point. My third point is that physician-assisted suicide would complicate and potentially compromise family and personal relationships. Subsection A, it would pressure people into making a life or death decision that beforehand would have been out of their hands. Many factors come into play with physician-assisted suicide. This now gives the option for individuals to prematurely end someone's life due to economic or personal reasons. This policy also incentivizes the inappropriate behavior to end one's life for selfish reasons. Some of these selfish reasons could be for insurance money, inability to pay expenses, etc. For example, multiple cases have been cited where elderly members of a family are encouraged to pull the plug on them. According to an article written in heritage.org, these perverse financial incentives will exercise a subtle but profound pressure on patients as the advice from their physicians and the procedures covered by insurance increasingly point towards physician-assisted suicide. Mostly, to summarize, mostly being that they would be able to receive the money from insurance policies or money that would have been lost due to pay medical bills. All in all, if physician-assisted suicide were to be legalized in the state of California, then the system would be abused to encourage people who are mentally or physically ill to end their lives prematurely. To summarize the 3 points that I've made, my first point is that the legalization of physician-assisted suicide would be ineffective because it targets a certain demographic and is not accessible to all those who want or need it. My second point is that physician-assisted suicide would corrupt the practice of medicine. And third, that physician-assisted suicide would complicate and potentially compromise family and close personal relationships.